the biggest problems for the Vancouver Canucks in the playoffs was who was going to score next to Elias Pettersson. They tried him with a bunch of different guys, and he took a lot of crap. But honestly, he had players playing with him that had 0 career playoff games. That was solved today, along with a bunch of other things for the Vancouver Canucks with the Jake DeBrusk signing. We'll get to that in a second. Just want to say this video is brought to you by 888 Canada, where you can find Steve and Jesse all over their YouTube page doing trivia. And you guys are going to be updating that all summer long, which is amazing.
100%. I'm going to be playing games to win this time.
The Leafs episode of Smack Talk Trivia is a must-watch because Steve did not win.
We also played this slots game that was like a safari slots game, and Steve was so jacked up to do that one because it has to do with the zoo animals.
So check out 888 Canada's YouTube page. Now, Jake DeBrusk has signed an enormous contract. I don't know if you guys saw it yet, but Louis DeBrusk, his father, was doing some training today, and he had a little extra zip in his step, posted a video about how proud he is. 7 years, $38.5 million. This was a player that a lot of people thought this guy's going to get 6 times 6. He got 7 times 5.5, which is not bad, and a bunch of signing bonuses too.
If you even go back before that, like into the not that distant past, like he was struggling to find his spot in the Bruins lineup. He requested a trade. He rescinded the trade request. By the way, that now appears to be the best move he ever made in his career.
Yes.
Because he stayed in Boston and he ended up having a really good time. And he took it into free agency and got a boatload of money.
The Vancouver Canucks obviously took the Edmonton Oilers to Game 7 this year, and they want to improve on that. What does Jake DeBrusk, who we have as Leaf fans a lot of experience with in the playoffs, what does he bring, not just in the regular season, but especially in the playoffs?
Jake DeBrusk was such a nightmare for the Toronto Maple Leafs in every playoff series that they played against him, that this might be the best move the Leafs have made all day. Like Jake DeBrusk getting the hell out of this division.
It's nice.
Getting the hell out of this conference. Vancouver, take him. Take him. This is the nicest thing Vancouver has ever done for Toronto. I think that might be the thing that they like the least about this deal. No, this is a feisty, pain in the ass, hard forechecking, capable scoring player. I hate his face. I hate his face. Thank goodness he is out of this division and conference.
Is Jake DeBrusk the player that scored 50 points in 64 games, or is he more the player that scored 40 and 80? He had 40 and 80 last year.
Realistically, how old is he again?
He's oh man,
that affects my answer.
This throws this at me. Hang on, 27.
27. All right, so the real answer is probably somewhere in between.
He did have 11 points in 13 playoff games, including 5 goals.
Damn,
that's who he is. Listen, are the Canucks going to struggle to make the playoffs?
No.
There's your answer. Who cares?
Okay.
Who cares what he gets for you throughout the season? Like in terms of where money is being spent, this isn't apples to apples, but you're basically taking Ilya Mikheyev's money and giving it to Jake DeBrusk. I know it's and then some, but no, that's an enormous win. Adam, forget this past year. What's his career playoff totals?
His career playoff totals are as follows. 86 games he's already played.
86 games, he's 27. I hate his face.
And that dates back to the 17-18 season. 47 points, 27 goals.
I'd love to know how many of those were against the Leafs.
Well,
it's got to be half.
And against Edmonton, Vancouver just ran out of goals. And they needed it from the second line, and they couldn't get it. And I think this guy slots in really well next to Pettersson or Miller, depending upon how they decide to build the lines next year. They can't have a lotto line. They can't put that much talent on the same line in the playoffs.
Jake DeBrusk with Rick Tocchet.
Oh, it's going to be greasy.
Match made in heaven.
Now, Jesse, when we talk about the rest of what Vancouver's done around Jake DeBrusk, unless you have...
No, keep going.
I want to talk to you about
Jesse's got his face up on
Dakota Joshua, who signed his extension, 4 years, $3.25 million per year. That's 3.7% of the cap. Yeah. Danton Heinen, who Leaf fans would know very well. Pain in the butt, 28 years old, 2 years, $2.25 million. And of course, Philip Hronek, who we had on Agent Provocateur, and a low-key signing for them, Tyler Myers, $3 million for the next 3 years. All those together, Jesse, what does that mean for you?
Yeah, not even low key for Myers, because I think he'll be playing in the top 4. Like if you look at their defense pairing, it's probably Hughes, Hronek, Soucy, and then Myers. So that's a big one for them. And I think what they needed help with was obviously on the wings there, because you're gonna go with some combination of DeBrusk, Pettersson, Besser, and then with that other signing, Dakota Joshua, Miller, and Garland. Like that's probably some kind of combination of the top 6. And
bunch of rat. Who wants to play that freaking team?
Exactly. Anybody who played fantasy hockey this year and they had Dakota Joshua on their team, you know the amount of extra stats that Dakota Joshua would pile up. Like he was the perfect person to have if you want hits and you want blocks and you want somebody who can put up a couple points. Like Dakota Joshua is a perfect all-around player, and I think for $3.3 million, they've got an excellent player for a number of years.
He turned down more money. Like he could have got more money. He knows.
Yeah, but he knows his value in Vancouver, that he's going to get an opportunity there, I think in the top 6 to have a big role there, and he's going to be a dangerous player.
That dude took a full-on Darnell Nurse punch to the face and turned it into a meme.
And then Teddy Bluger, he signs with Vancouver, and there's an opportunity there to be their third center. Like, it's down the middle. It'll probably be Pettersson, Miller, Bluger, and then Suter, I assume. So if Bluger sits in the 3C in Vancouver, where they're going to be challenging for top of the division, they're going to be in the playoffs, there's a great opportunity for Bluger.
Are the Vancouver Canucks Latvia's hockey team?
Yes.
I think they're Latvia's hockey team between Teodor's Blugers and Artur Silovs.
Yeah, and I think I want to say that I think that Vancouver still needs another centerman. I understand what you're saying, Jesse, about Bluger being a great fit. He was great between Joshua and Garland, but I like him a lot better with guys like Phil DiGiuseppe, Linus Karlsson, Nils Amon. Those are the guys that I thought, when Lindholm was in that spot, he didn't get a whole lot going, but that Joshua Garland combo is pretty crazy in the playoffs. Like really, really good. I'm curious about if there's room, because the Vancouver Canucks currently have about $3 million to spend, $3.7 million with LTIR candidates. That is, can they go out and find? Is it a Bluger plus? Is it just another Bluger? Is it, can you find a low-grade centerman for that amount of money that's going to make a difference for you?
I wouldn't be all that shocked if there was still a trade out there for them. They were fidgety all year. They were rumored to be selling at the beginning of the year. Remember Garland? And I don't think they regret not making that move.
What's weird is nobody wanted Garland. And you see him play in the playoffs and you're like, what is wrong with you?
Oh, I know. No, I think
$5 million is a lot of money.
It is a lot of money, but I think there's been a big correction in the market where everyone goes, okay, we're paying attention to the wrong time of year. we need to see how these players perform April onward.
Well, and to that point, we didn't mention Kiefer Sherwood, who joined the Vancouver Canucks.
Oh, I like that player. I like
the team that they beat in the first round, the Nashville Predators.
I like him.
2 years, $1.9 million per year, great depth. And was a spectacular player for the Predators.
And there's another guy where, they're really... I completely didn't understand the impact of Rick Tocchet when the Vancouver Canucks signed him.
I don't think anybody could have.
No,
he didn't have a great record in Arizona.
But is it Petey? Is it Hughes? They're literally building a team around Rick Tocchet. They're building a team for this coach. All these players, it's a pain in the ass. They're building a pain in the ass team for a pain in the ass coach who was a pain in the ass player.
Right. Yeah. Not bad. Your top 6 looks like this: Pettersson, Miller, Besser. Not bad. Right. Then you add.
You got to explain who those guys are.
And then add a guy like Jake DeBrusk to that. And then I guess you're switching in guys like Suter, I would think.
Yeah.
You didn't like the top 6 I just read out a couple minutes ago?
Oh, you did? Oh, was that what you did?
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm sorry. I was switching in.
Dude,
regardless,
we've been here 2 hours. You know how many videos we made?
Yeah, but my brain is dead. But Jesse, your top 6 was perfect. I loved it. It was my favorite top 6 all day, in fact. So the Vancouver Canucks doing some really, really good low-key business, except for Jake DeBrusk, which was very high-key. And they're going to be a pain in the butt to play next year. Good luck to everybody else.